This podcast is a member of the Place to Be Nation family. Visit us at placetobenation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
Place to Be Wrestling, welcome to episode number 23 of NWA Crock Roll. I am your host, Shawn Kidd, and we are on part 3 of our Unwatched series, and we are now 1 month away, literally, from Crockett getting back to our December 85 timeline. And the great news is, as of this recording, the Peacock, has finally dropped everything we were watching for our timeline watch, so we are officially back in business in 1 month. So, Dr. G, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Doing awesome. I'm looking forward to breaking things down tonight.
Yeah, are you excited that we finally have some WCW back on the network so we can get back to what we love?
This has been fun, like we've been saying, but it's nice to be able to get back into some of the storylines and really break things down and, kind of go back. There's some things that as we've been doing this that I forgot about, from when I was younger. So it's really a good chance to go back and break things down and also gain a better appreciation of certain guys that maybe I didn't appreciate as much at that time.
I agree. That's what's been the big thing for me in this is I've grown to appreciate people that maybe I already appreciated, but I have a bigger appreciation for. And then there's some folks that Jimmy Valiant that I still don't appreciate based on what I've watched and will continue not to appreciate. And maybe some that I had a high opinion on that maybe necessarily I don't have a high opinion on anymore, thanks to our other co-host, Colin McDougall. How are you doing tonight?
After hearing that, I am wonderful. I'm looking forward to if last time was very Ric Flair heavy, I think it's Road Warrior Mania is running wild on this next one, on this one that we're about to talk about. But yes, I'm glad to see that people are coming round to, or you are coming round to my way of thinking on a certain someone. It's music to my ears, Shawn. It really is.
Yeah, I know. I think I was trying to break you, and I think the opposite end happened. I think you broke me. So, and it's definitely not going to change over the course of the next couple episodes. I can promise you that.
Well, no, we might need to start going backwards if you want to rekindle that love, because nothing that we've seen recently is going to change that with the sounds of things.
Absolutely. And finally, our rotating fourth horseman. I appreciate him joining us kind of in a lurch because our previous guest could not make it due to work commitments. Scott Shiflett, our official fourth horseman over the last couple episodes, has been on more NWA Crock Roll guest spots than anybody. Scott, I think it's about time that we're probably going to have to make you an official member and graduate you from I have graduated from Aroma. You are a McMichael at this point, but we might have to keep pushing to go bigger than that.
That's great news. Thanks, guys, for having me back. I slipped in this time because y'all left the door unlocked. So that's on you guys, and I'm just acting like everything's normal.
Well, my wife tends to tell me if I don't lock the door, something bad will happen one day. So I guess,
This is something bad.
I disagree. I think you're great. So thank you for joining us tonight. All right. So, guys, we are on part 3 of our Unwatched series. And so we have 6 more matches to talk about tonight. Some of them are with it kind of like in order. Others aren't because I found some matches after I did the initial pick list. But our first match tonight, it is the Road Warriors. It is our first of, I believe, 3 Road Warriors matches tonight, like Colin brought up. And it is for the AWA World Tag Team titles, and it is in the AWA, and it is against the Long Riders. So we're all very familiar with Hog Irwin. We spent a lot of time talking about that classic match when we first started the pod where he gave Magnum TA a hard time, and Magnum looked really bad in that match. But here he is with his brother, Bill Irwin, who I believe everybody knows who that is. But they are the Long Riders. They were really big in the AWA, and they're challenging the Road Warriors here. This is from August 11th, 1985. So all 4 begin to fight to start, punches, shoulder tackles, etc. Warriors throw the Irwins into each other mid-ring. Hawk throws Hog into I get confused when I say Hawk and Hog. Try to say that like 100 times in a row. Hawk throws Hog into the corner and up and over. Hawk works the arm. Animal comes in and he also works the arm. Bill keeps coming in to break it up as Hawk and Animal continue to tag in and out. We started with Japanese commentary, and all of a sudden Larry Nelson came into commentary. So that was kind of a weird thing. We went from Japanese commentary to Larry Nelson. There's a power slam by Hawk. Bill is pummeled by Animal. There's a stiff back elbow and rear chin lock. Hawk throws Bill across the ring by his hair, which I thought looked really good. Bill gets a kick to Hawk's midsection on a charge. There's a stiff backbreaker. Larry says, "Oh, that one will hurt badly," with really riveting insights there. Hawk gives in with a suplex. Hawk blocks a backdrop and tags Animal. Animal body slams both Irwins. Animal misses a corner charge and hits the turnbuckle. There's a leg drop to the back of his head. Bill with a modified camel clutch to Animal. Irwins take turn beating up on Animal, and Hog throws Animal over the top outside, brings him back in to continue the beating. Animal reverses a Bill rope throw, but Bill leapfrogs and a backdrop and coming off with a nice bro kick, which I thought was really good for 2. Then there's a front face lock. Bill throws Animal into Hog's boot, even though Hawk tagged in, but the ref did not see it. Hog gets a body slam to Animal and misses a leg drop. Hawk tags. There's a flying shoulder block, a boot to the face, and beating up both Irwins with multiple body slams. Worries work over Hog Irwin on the ropes. Bill does a body press, taking him over the top rope. They fight it outside. A big schmoz ensues, and we get a double DQ outside. Guys, I really enjoyed this. I thought it was kind of a stiff brawl. I thought it was even paced. I like seeing the Long Riders get a little bit of heat on the Warriors, which you don't typically see. I actually went 3 stars, and I might have overrated it, but I was really entertained by this match. Dr. G, what did you think?
I was entertained as well. You know me, I love the Road Warriors. So I kind of was with you. I did 3 stars. I enjoyed it. One of those matches where it was kind of quick paced for big guys. And, we're watching a lot of Road Warriors in the AWA, which I didn't watch as much. So
Neither did I. This is great.
They had some pretty good matches in the AWA. I didn't really, they made them go longer. Did you notice their matches are a little longer?
This one alone is 14 minutes, but yes, you're right. They went longer in the AWA. For them. Yeah. That's Ganya power right there. Vern wanted those work boots on.
Exactly. But I really, I love a good brawl. And I'm just such a Road Warriors mark. So, I may have went a little high on it, compared to like other 3-star matches that I've rated, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't get to a point where like I said, if I'm not looking at my phone or doing something else while I'm watching it, then I know I'm not interested. This one was not it. So I'll stick with my 3 stars.
I agree. And if it's overrated, I'm okay with it because I enjoyed it. Colin, what did you think?
I thought it was all right.
There we go.
Woo! I mean, it was. I liked the wild start. But I've got that there's not much else going on after that. But thinking back, I do appreciate what you're saying about the sort of the stiff brawl element to it, which is normally right up my alley. But I'm not quite sure. There's just something about this that didn't connect with me. I've not hammered it. I've gone 2 1/4 on it. So it's not as if we're wildly off the mark as we have been on some other matches with some other people that we've mentioned already. I've noticed again the Japanese commentary was a slight upgrade to Larry Nelson and his The Hawk and the Animal.
Yeah.
And there was I have noted that there was some decent parts in it. But overall it something for whatever reason just didn't click with me. So 2 1/4 for me.
All right, so not too far off from the 3. So you're right. It's not like we disagree like a big huge gap there, but yeah, definitely disconnect. So Dr. G, sounds like we're going to be the high ones. I'm going to bet.
I think so.
Not to be wrong. Scott sometimes surprises me. So let's see what Scott has to say. Scott, what do you think about this match?
I really enjoyed it. I honestly thought I was going to be the high person here, but I fall in the middle between everyone. I went 2 3/4 stars.
So Scott, you continue to surprise me.
I know. That's how I am. But I really enjoyed it. Like, I had forgotten that we had seen the Long Riders before. I've listened to all the pods. I just blanked on it. So I thought this was going to be a squash. And I was pleasantly shocked with, like, how, like, the Long Riders held their own with them. So, they did pretty good. Like, I even have, like, I don't know which one it is, but I have nice leg drop for one of the Irwins. Like, they did a good job. The ref was terrible, but I love, like, the Hawk coming in on the Hog and just whooping everyone's ass. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And
that was almost like a Tully promo, the Hawk coming on the Hog. Sorry, inappropriate moment, guys. I apologize.
It's fine. And you didn't even mention at the very end of the match after it was thrown out, we had chairs. They were hitting.
Oh, you're right. I didn't. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. So thank you.
Yeah, same here. Sorry about that.
Yep.
Nah, no worries. I just really enjoyed this match. And then I was like, and then we'll get to the next match. And I was like, Shawn really does hate me.
All right. Well, okay. So good opener. I mean, we're all in that 2.25 up to the 3 stars. So pretty good opener. I would go out of your way to watch it. I don't understand. The one thing I don't understand is there was no reason why the Road Warriors couldn't just pin these guys, honestly, and just win. Because, again, the problem with all these matches that we tend to see is we see a lot of schmaz endings, which, again, we have another one, and I didn't feel that was really necessary here. But I still enjoyed it, which does take us to our next aforementioned match. It is Abdullah the Butcher, and we are in Puerto Rico. So Puerto Rico we have visited many times, and we will visit it again in the next episode for 3 matches. But we have Abdullah the Butcher taking on Carlos Colon, where, these guys have had a blood feud. We talked about, I think on our last time watch pod, Starrcade 85, they faced each other. But we are in September 21st, 1985. So so right out of the gate, Abdullah comes out with JJ as his manager, which surprised me at the time. I don't know why JJ was here with him as his manager in Puerto Rico. I didn't research to see if this was a thing that was ongoing, but JJ's his manager. Carlos Colon comes out to We Are the World, and the kids are already beside him. And it's like, how much for the music rights for this? And why are we like putting Carlos Colon as the beacon of hope for the world? It's the him coming out to that music was ridiculous, but the kids sure did love him. They started exchanging punches and, different thrusts, but Carlos hits a forearm and knocks Butcher down to the outside. More punches and forearms and headbutts. Carlos starts biting him, and then he really starts going to town on his ear, biting and punching his ear, and, just like going to town on Abdullah's ear. He pulls on the ear. I have never seen a match where I've seen so much ear work. I don't think that's a phrase I ever would have said is ear work, but we have lots of ear work here. Lots of biting, lots of punching. Abdullah gets some headbutts. And then he stands on Colon's belly, which was pretty funny. Then more punches and headbutts, more elbows. Colon's now bleeding from numerous punches. Abdullah just keeps doing repeated headbutts and biting. Butcher, and then we get more. Butcher's ear is a big hot mess at this point. We get a couple of suplexes by Colon, which was actually pretty impressive that he could lift Abdullah up for a suplex. But and then we get an absolute terrible looking ref bump at some point. JJ jumps on the apron, but he gets on a charge. Abdullah knocks him down, and JJ takes the bump. Then Carlos goes outside and headbutts JJ, and now Butcher's outside. They fight outside into the crowd. The bell rings. JJ's now a big bleeding mess, and we have a schmaz. I want to say the ending was a draw or a double count out, but Jesus Christ, guys, this match is a whole lot of nothing with a whole lot of blood. I think the best 2 spots of the whole match were 2 suplexes. I actually went half a star on this just because of Colon getting Abdullah up in a suplex. Colin, what did you think?
My first note here was I hope this is better than their Starrcade 83 Abomination.
Uh-oh.
Spoilers, it wasn't. I think we got to about 10 minutes in, and I got my second note, and it was quite crassly done at the square root of fuck all so far. Between the Jimmy Valiant Kamala match and this Drizzler, I did feel sorry for the folk that had bought tickets to this show, because I believe this one was from the anniversary 1985 show as well.
It was.
poor folk. I really hope there was something. I did look at the card and I can't remember what else was on the show. There was some redeeming qualities to it, so it wasn't all bad. I think it was. I think it's more the issue is more like what I was expecting against what the reality of the match was. I was expecting a wild brawl, not necessarily a 15-minute snorefest, or 15 minutes of this utter shite, as I've written as well. Yeah, I think it was. We have watched a match that we'll talk about. I believe it's either. I think it might actually be the next one, the next show. I'm looking through my notes. It is. We watched a match that was more akin to what I thought this match would be later on. So I think this is more my opinion has been swayed slightly as well by what we saw against what I thought could have been. Nonetheless, I have given it a dud. I did not enjoy this at all. I saw JJ bleeding at the end. I feel that was a waste. Again, that was far too much effort than was required for this match. It was
an abomination.
It was an abomination. It was an absolute abomination.
So, Colin, no credit for Cologne for getting a big ass Abdullah up for 2 suplexes in the match. You think he gets nothing for that? Nada.
He can get a firm, hearty pat on the back. So whatever he gains for actually doing that suplex, he loses for booking this match. Because I believe he was. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is his territory. So yeah,
it is. Yes.
He's booked himself into a position to suplex Abdullah the Butcher twice, so he can go to hell for that.
He is the world, Colin.
He is the world, yes. If we get Paul Bosch bullshit, there's Carlos Colon crap fest.
All right. Yeah, I agree. It's not great. I had to give it a half star for the 2 suplexes, and I kind of liked watching Abdullah get the shit beat out of him in his ear. I don't know. Maybe I've just got issues. Scott, what'd you think? I know you hated this match too.
Oh, the highlight for me, Shawn, was Carlos Colon coming out to We Are the World, because I was like, wait, is he coming out to this? Like, messaged you guys. I was like, this it was surreal, because I've seen like pictures of Carlos Colon, and when I think of We Are the World, I definitely don't think of him. I think of like, razor blades and.
He was in the music. He was in a music video. You didn't see him in the video?
Yeah, he was right beside Dan Aykroyd, right?
Yeah, he was right beside Dan Aykroyd. That's right. Yes. This match was crap, but I gave it a quarter of a star, Shawn, just for the same reason you did for the suplex. But they did have a TNA-esque ref bump where it looked so unnatural. So bad. It was so bad. It was like one of the worst ref bumps I've ever seen. It was really bad.
Yeah, and then like the BS fighting in the crowd. Like you said, I don't know who won, who lost, but yeah, the suplex was amazing, because I also have a note in here. I'm a bigger guy, but I said Abdullah definitely swims with his shirt on.
Yep.
But yeah, it was a terrible match.
Yep. Dr. G, what'd you think?
There's just one word that Callum uses: an abomination. That's pretty much the only note that I put there. Now,
that's fair.
I rated it a dud. The only thing that made me rate it negative stars was those 2 suplexes. So just so you know, just to make you feel good about that. So I did take the suplexes into account, but I was going negative on this. It's like watching slow motion. Mm-hmm. It's like everything looks so calculating, and Abdullah, just cannot move. I know he's an attraction, but I remember seeing him here and there in territories, but I just never got the whole thing with him. Now I love to have blood matches sometimes, but this one was it was all over the place. And yeah, the We Are the World stuff, I was like, what the hell is this?
You got to stay with the times, man. That's only been out for like 3 months, I think, at this point.
Yeah,
so he was just jumping on it.
He is the Jerry Lawler of Puerto Rico,
That's
so
a great
obviously
comparison. Great comparison.
Booked himself to win. So, well, this one I guess he didn't book to win, but he looked good in this match for their purposes, for the fans' purposes, not for us watching it. So I went 0 stars on this.
All right, 0 stars. So I had the high one. So we're kind of dud, 0, quarter star, half a star. So we're all in that same realm. So do not go out of your way to watch this match. It is, like Callum said, an abomination. All right, so we are going to go to our third match. And now we are going to go to 2 matches in Portland. And I believe this is our first of 2 Ric Flair matches we're going to have. So we have one in Portland, and then we're going to go back to Japan for our final match tonight. So this is the anniversary show. And it's Ric Flair versus Magnum TA. And one of the things I've really enjoyed that we've done this summer in a lot of what we've been watching, we found multiple Ric Flair versus TA matches that we had not watched before. So I was really happy to find this one. This is from 9/24/85, our first of 2 matches that'll be here tonight. So the first thing I noticed is, and I made a clear note, and I know you guys are going to have a lot to say about them. No idea who the announcers are, but they're absolutely horrible. A woman, and girl is absolutely marking out for Flair and TA. Flair is out in his green robe. To start off, we get Flair a shoulder block to TA off the ropes. TA backs up and goes for a belly-to-belly, so it looked like he was really going to get it like right out of the gate, but Flair stopped himself. There's a test of strength that ends with TA taking Flair down to the mat with an arm bar. TA works the arm for a bit with his knees and a hammerlock, which I thought was pretty cool. There's a Flair headlock takedown for a few false counts. TA reverses it into a leg scissors headlock, and there's lots of false starts and stalling for a while. It's kind of a slow start a little bit until TA gets into a hip toss and a press slam that Flair bails outside on. TA chases him back into the ring. Flair gets some shots and punches and throws TA outside. TA jumps right back in and throttles Flair with punches. Like just a real hot, like he's thrown out, and then he just jumps right back in and starts going to town on Flair. There's a hip toss out of the corner, a drop kick, more punches. But Flair kicks TA down. Ref is pushing TA back. Flair kicks him down. There's a Flair snapmare and double stomp to the gut. He throws TA outside again and throws TA's shoulder into the ring post. Flair gets an elbow on TA on the apron and drags TA into the ring and works over his injured arm. TA gets a roll up from behind for 2. Flair kicks out. He pushes the ref and ref pushes back. TA gets Flair in a figure 4. And Flair's in it for a really long time, but he gets to the ropes. But TA grabs his legs and yanks him off of the corner and goes for another figure 4, but Flair blocks it. TA goes for a body press, but Flair ducks, and TA goes outside again. Back in, Flair puts TA's leg on the ropes and goes to drop down on it, but TA moves. TA with more punches, a backdrop, and a backslide for 2. In corner, Flair trips TA and puts his foot on the rope for a 3 count, but the ref sees it and says no. TA gets a sleeper and a body slam. There's a splash attempt but his knees are up, and then TA blocks the suplex and hits one of his own for 2. Flair throws TA outside again, and this is like the 4th time he's been thrown outside. TA gets a sunset flip for the apron for 2. I like Flair struggling, trying to stop the attempt here. Flair gets, and at one point Flair gets his leg atomic drop and gets Magnum into a figure 4. But TA reverses it, and Flair escapes. Flair goes for another figure 4. TA gets a small package for 2. TA is then thrown out again, which is outside. TA throws Flair into the ring post, and Flair starts bleeding. TA rolls him back in the ring, goes up top to jump down on him, but he jumps back down and he punches Flair in the corner. Flair gets an inverted atomic drop, and then Flair reverses an Irish whip, and TA collides with the ref. Flair goes for a suplex, but TA falls behind and hits a belly-to-belly to cover with no ref, who slowly gets up on a 2 count. Flair is thrown up over the corner and over to the top. He's met with a punch on his way down. TA gets a drop kick on Flair, but then there's a bridge spot where Flair is on top, and the ref actually counts 3, so it looks like TA couldn't get him up. So this is like the second, third false count that we got that TA should have lost the match, but it didn't happen. Looked like a total botch. Ref ignores the 3 count and goes to the other side to count, where TA actually bridges out, gets a backside for 2. The bell rings. We get a draw. TA keeps punching Flair. It was just, and I know that was a lot to talk about, but guys, this match was spectacular. I think it goes down a notch in my book for the weird 2 instances of ref counting to 3 and it not counted against TA because technically Flair won this. Some really slow spots to start, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. And the last 10 to 15 minutes was absolutely great. I went 3.25 stars. Scott, what did you think?
I really enjoyed this match. I will agree with you about the ref spots and the slow start. It was really slow, but if they didn't pick up the pace. I will say I did notice just from watching a lot of Sting Flair matches, you can see that Flair took a couple of spots from those matches, from his matches with Magnum TA, and put them in the Sting matches.
That was the whole thing about Flair. I mean, you heard it from wrestlers all the time, is he had a formula that he followed almost every match, and the more you watch them, the more you kind of see it, but it still doesn't really take away from the match for me.
Oh, no, not at all. I was just because the Gorilla Press Slam spot, I was like, oh, that's the spot he does with Sting, and just called it. The ref was terrible, just as bad as the announcers, in my opinion. And I'm glad you mentioned about the sunset flip, because I even have a note here, the sunset flip spot was awesome. And I love that Magnum got the visual pin after his belly to belly. Did they ever give his belly to belly a name, or was it just?
No, they didn't. No, it was just a belly to belly.
Okay. Yeah, I love the visual pin with that. But yeah, I thought it was a great match. And I think as Dr. G said in our last episode, it really bums me out that we didn't see this at Starrcade.
Me too. Dr. G, what'd you think of this? Oh, what'd you rate it, Scott? What's your rating?
I went 3.5.
Okay, 3.5. I'm 3.25. Dr. G, what'd you think?
I did the same thing as you, Shawn. I went 3.25. I enjoyed this match. Now, yes, it started off a little slow, but again, I try to think back. It's very hard sometimes, because sometimes there's too much slow spots of how wrestling was done then, and that's how they built it up, the matches. It was not like you see on TV today, where everything has to be so quick paced from the beginning to the end, and that's why the matches are a little shorter. There's a whole build up. There's some psychology involved. So, as we're going on, I'm really gaining more of appreciation for Magnum TA. I mean, he and Flair had some great matches that we didn't see at that time.
I think this is our third one that we've watched this summer that we hadn't seen before. It's really good.
No, I know I definitely didn't see this. I mean, I didn't see anything from Portland really until, recent times. We didn't get any of that stuff. So, but I really love the way these two work together. And now I'm starting to see what they saw in Magnum TA. And, I would say the fans weren't as jacked for Magnum TA as they would be in the Crockett territory, because obviously maybe there's not a lot of familiarity with Magnum TA at that time, maybe through the magazines and stuff like that. So the crowd did pick up a little bit. The announcing, there's nothing to really say. It was just horrible. I have no idea who those two were at all. I couldn't even predict by their voices. But boy, you found some real gems from Portland.
Yeah, this might be my favorite Flair. I got to go back and look at what my other ratings are, but this is definitely a highlight for me of one of their matches. I was, when
first we were like, another, Magnum Flair match, and I was like, in Portland, are they really going to put on that great of a show in Portland?
Wait a minute, Portland's been giving us some good shit.
I know. I shouldn't have even doubted it, but I was just wondering, because again, they're more known for wrestling, in the Crockett territory, but wow, this was pretty good. Good call on this one.
Dr. G, I don't know how you could doubt Portland when we got a freaking 3.5 star Brett Sawyer Ric Flair match.
I know. Well, I think I doubted it more because I was the fans' familiarity with Magnum TA.
Sure.
So I was just wondering what kind of. I mean, I knew they weren't going to go, 45 minutes to an hour in Portland, but we don't need a 45-minute to an hour match. That match, what was it, 17 minutes or something like that?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I did enjoy it in the sunset flip too. Again, some of these moves that we watched that were just so cool back in the 80s that are really not used as much today would be nice to see back in the current wrestling today.
Agreed, or at least sold and no sold like they are in today's wrestling, right? So
agreed.
All right, Colin, what do you think of this match?
I absolutely loved it. I think this is at least the fourth different territory thinking about it, that we've seen these two wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
and every single time the crowd has loved it.
Mm-hmm.
They've been really, really into it. The commentary, on the other hand, actively ruined my enjoyment of the match. It was so bad. With the benefit of hindsight, I would have watched the match again on mute, because it was terrible. The match was, as I always said, the match was a bit slow to get started. Magnum was the one that was getting frustrated with Flair, and we've seen it mainly the other way about, where Flair's getting frustrated that he can't get the upper hand on Magnum. So it was a strange turnaround from the two of them there. The ref as well, he just seemed to get in the way all the time. I think they said it was Sandy Barr, so I think he was quite a big name in Portland. So I don't know if he was still, if there was an element of he was trying to get himself over. I don't even know if he was still an active wrestler at the time. But he was there was too much Flair stuff with the ref. There was too much ref botches, and it was just that was, as you said, that's brought it down a wee bit as well. But other than that, I absolutely loved the match. The crowd went absolutely apeshit when Magnum first got the figure 4 on Flair. It had you biting on near falls and everything, even though you know what the result's going to be. I went 3 3/4 on it. I thought this match was fantastic.
Yeah, so I agree. So, guys, if you're listening to this show, go out of your way and watch this match. But to Colin's point, please put it on mute. The commentary does not do this match justice, and if you get distracted by the commentary, you will not enjoy it. But yeah, definitely probably one of the better matches we've watched this summer, so really go out of your way to watch it. So good match. All right, our fourth match, same card, 9/21. It is the Road Warriors back again, and they're defending the AWA Tag Team titles against a very unique team, which I was shocked to see this one. It's Sergeant Slaughter and Billy Jack Haynes. And Billy Jack Haynes, we've been fond of the stuff we saw him. We saw him, I think it was our last episode or the episode before that. We saw him face Flair for the world title. Now here he is facing the Road Warriors for the World Tag Team title. So Billy Jack is out and he hugs his father at ringside. The Warriors come out with their great neck collars. They're still the AWA World Champions at this point, so this is for the title. Billy Jack also has his U.S. Tag Team title belt that he holds with Wahoo. So Billy Jack clearly, running the territories. Here he's in Portland. We see him down in Florida, and we know he's eventually coming over to Crockett, but he has his U.S. Tag Team title here. The Warriors titles were on the line, all 4-member brawl to start. Billy Jack throws Animal into the ropes, and then sorry guys, I got all 4-man brawl. Billy Jack throws Animal into the ropes. The ref slides out of the way, which I thought was really funny, and Billy Jack backdrops Animal. Billy Jack knocks Hawk down with punches on the apron. Animal comes back in, and it's really the start of this match is the faces really are, dominating the Road Warriors. Like, I haven't seen the Road Warriors really dominated in such a fashion. I mean, there's clotheslines, there's Cobra clutches. I mean, the faces are just really working over the Warriors, which absolutely shocked me. There was a point where there's a shoulder breaker to Sarge. The Road Warriors beat up Slaughter with kicks and chops, elbows, and throws him to the corner, and Sarge stumbles over the top to the floor. I made a comment about the Annoyer saying he's hurt 5 different times in a row, obviously, but it was just constant. He's hurt. Hawk throws Sarge onto the announcer's table. This is where I also made a comment. The announcers suck. I didn't go into detail like you guys did a little bit. Hawk beats Slaughter up on the apron. Back in, Slaughter throws Animal to the corner, but he charges and misses, and Animal gets a flying shoulder block for 2. Then there's a long rear chinlock spot. Hawk and Animal tag back in, but then we get a power slam on Sarge, which I thought was really good. And then more rear chin locks. As we get to the end, we get a full Nelson on the Road Warriors. Animal comes in, and then all 4 men are in the ring. Animal dumps Sarge over the top rope. There's a Road Warriors double clothesline to Billy Jack. Hawk does a impressive press slam on Billy Jack. Then there's an Animal elbow. There's a double pile driver attempt that looked kind of botched. as Haynes lifted his legs up for it, so he lifted up. But anyway, it didn't look really good on that. I know what they were going for. But then Hawk gets up on the top rope. Slaughter comes in with a chair, and it's both Road Warriors for the DQ. It was funny. The face then does a bunch of chair shots that looked pretty weak. They were not the best chair shots. Then Road Warriors start throwing chairs in the ring and in the announce table. This is a really fun tag match. I was really pleasantly surprised because normally the Road Warriors, and I said it earlier tonight, they come in and they beat up their opponents. But I really enjoyed this because they looked vulnerable here. And I think it was pretty hot reaction for Billy Jack and Slaughter with Billy Jack's home turf to get this kind of shine on the Road Warriors. And normally I would complain about it. I didn't like it. I just thought this was four hosses going at it. I went 2.5 stars. I thought it was pretty good. Dr. G, what'd you think?
We're agreeing tonight. I went 2.5 too. Again, back in that time, my favorites, Road Warriors and Billy Jack Haynes was one of my favorites. So, I really, and Sergeant Slaughter Thorne in there, he did a decent job. It's just, like you said, four hosses going at it. It's if you're looking for a scientific match, this is not the match for it. And we knew that going into it when you see those four together. But it was fun. It was just a good flow. Like you said, all at the end with all the chairs going into the ring and everything like that. That was, one of those schmazzes that you get. You didn't want the hometown hero to lose. So, and again, seeing the Road Warriors looking like they could lose, which was not the case in the NWA very often. Yeah. So again, seeing them booked differently in different territories is kind of fun. And, and them going longer matches too, again, because they were always criticized for, just being short match guys. And no, I mean, I don't think you could put them in a match for 45 minutes. That's not going to work with those two guys, but that's not what they're meant to be anyway. And that's what people have to understand. That's just not the way big guys like that are going to be booked. So again, I 2.5 stars. Was fun. I mean, nothing spectacular, but I mean, I would definitely recommend somebody to go back and watch this match.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those hidden. Both these matches are one of those hidden ones that you really have to search for. The good news is every match we talk about is on YouTube, so I would go out of the way to watch both these matches. Colin, what did you think?
I thought the match was all right as well. I do think they were quite unfortunately placed that they had to follow straight away after Flair Magnum. So they were always fighting an uphill battle with that. I did also make a note that the Road Warriors were doing a lot more selling than we're used to. The one I've pointed out is that when Billy Jack put the full Nelson on Hawk, he sold it like death. And then Animal was scrambling across to try and get him out of it. Because they were painting it as such a dangerous move. It was a wild match and an even more wild post match. And again, I can only praise them for cutting off the commentary when they started tearing up the desk. Commentary such as, I was looking for a note there. Both of these men look like animals. No, only one does. The other one looks like a hawk. Just no. And honestly, the crowd when Billy Jack gets tagged in is again, and it just comes that it blows the roof off the place. So yeah, I mean the guy is just the guy is just insanely popular, which probably helped Portland that when they lost Piper, they had Billy Jack, who was just like ready to take on the mantle, because he was insanely over. I've gone 2 on the match. It was wild, but in a good way. So yeah, it kept my attention more than most on these watches. So 2 stars for me.
All right, so 2 stars for Colin, 2.5 for me and Dr. G. Scott, what'd you think?
Jesus, I'm like the kid in a divorce that's like kept between his parents. Like, I'm always falling in the middle of this. I went 2 1/4 tonight.
That's all right. That's good though. We're all in the same realm somewhat, so it's okay.
Yeah, I was just blown away with that. But I enjoyed it. This was a house match, and they were beating the hell out of each other. When Hawk whipped Sarge out of the ring and he fell on the announce table, holy crap, that was amazing. And I will say the announcer sucked, but one of the male announcer was getting all these digs in at Slaughter. I think Slaughter must have owed him money, but one of them he called Slaughter Gomer Pyle, which made me laugh because even I got that reference. But no, and like Hawk had a good shoulder breaker earlier in the match. I loved how the match started off with all four just beating the hell out of each other. Yeah, I went 2 1/4, and I would like to see more of this. Do you know if this was ever followed up on?
No, this was the only match. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because
of what happens later.
Well, because of what happens in our next match, actually. So yeah, you won't see these two teams fight again. All right, so pretty decent tag match, but both matches, Flair and this one in Portland. You can find them on. There's a couple other matches on the same show. The Kolofs are actually in a match too, but I had no idea who the Jamokes were that they were facing, so we skipped that match. But yeah, go out of your way to watch this. This will be on YouTube. You can find these, and I'm sure Colin will put them in the watch list that he keeps for us as we go through the timeline on our YouTube page. All right, our fifth match, our final Road Warriors match of the evening. And this is a historical one, guys. So we've kind of documented over the course of this summer the Warriors' domination of the AWA Tag Team Title Division, and it was like, who the hell is going to beat these guys? So we saw that they came in for the Great American Bash in July, and we saw that they're going to start a feud with the Russians. Well, obviously, for that to happen, they're going to have to go full time in Crockett, and they're going to have to lose the AWA Tag Team titles. And the situation is, who the hell is going to beat them for the titles? Well, it's certainly not this team that we're going to see him face tonight, but this is the Road Warriors versus Garvin and Regal. Steven Regal is his name, Mr. Electricity, not Lord Steven Regal, but Mr. Electricity Steven Regal and Jimmy Garvin. This is for the AWA Tag Team titles, and it is on 9/27/85. So this is 6 days after the previous match we just talked about. So Hawk and Garvin tie up, and I'm curious to get your opinions on this match because I went into it with no conceived notions. I actually was looking for this match purposely so we could see what happened with the tag belts when the Warriors lost them, and this is something. So Hawk and Garvin tie up. Hawk he does a hit toss to Animal, who elbows Garvin in the head. Garvin the guts, does nothing to Hawk, which is pretty funny. Garvin gets Hawk to the corner, and he heels work Hawk over, but Hawk fights out, taking both out. And then we get a side headlock by Animal to Garvin at one point. Garvin tags Regal, and Animal gets right back into the headlock. So we get a little bit of headlock. We get a Garvin choke on Hawk later in the match with the tag rope. Animal runs in, but the ref pushes him back, allowing the heels to do some double team again. Seeing some vulnerable Road Warriors here in the AWA, which is really, really different for us. Hawk gets a power slam to Garvin, but Garvin tags Regal. Regal gets some elbows and punches to Hawk, and then which he no-sells and fires back immediately, but Garvin runs in. And then Animal and Garvin again. An Animal tries to come in, but he's pushed back. Garvin again chokes Hawk with the tag ropes. Hawk ducks a clothesline attempt and clocks Garvin. And then he gets an Animal tag. Animal with a flying shoulder block, clothesline. Regal comes in, and then Hawk's in, and all four fight. There's a big boot to Regal. And then they fight mid-ring. The Freebirds come out and start beating up on Ellering outside, which, you know, Freebirds and the Road Warriors were having a really big feud at the time, so we'll talk more about that in our next episode. But Hawk goes after him. The heels try to double team Animal, but he ducks, and Garvin accidentally punches Regal. Animal gets a power slam to Garvin and a clothesline to Regal. Hawk outside is kicking the Freebird's ass, but Hayes crawls into the ring, and I couldn't see it, but he did something to Animal, and Garvin covers for the three, and we have new champs. So we get another view, and we see that Hayes actually came off the rope, and he pushed Garvin on top of Animal. So after this, we get a furious promo for the Road Warriors. This was shocking. Like, I can imagine watching this in 85. I mean, absolutely shocked because this is a huge upset. Very, very rare that you would see the Road Warriors ever take a pin. I really liked it. And here they are, soon to be on their way to Crockett full time. I actually went 3 stars, which might be a little bit high, but I really, really enjoyed the tag work by both teams in this. So I will go to Colin first. What did you think of this match?
Yeah, I think we're a bit. I think we're a bit off the mark on this one, Sean.
I don't think so. I disagree.
First note I've got is hashtag not my Steve Regal. I'm more of the.
So you're going into it with a little bit of an opinion. That's what you're doing. It's not your real.
It's not. I mean, Mr. Electricity, the most fucking boring man in the world by the looks of things.
Well, I don't necessarily disagree with you on that nickname, by the way.
The crowd wasn't into it at all until the Freebirds came out, and I was along the same lines. I just found that the Garvin and Steve Regal are, I mean, I don't know the background of this team, but it just seemed like a thrown together random team taking down the Road Warriors. Yeah, very strange. I went 1.75 on it. I didn't really.
Ouch. Okay.
I didn't get. There was just something about it. It didn't click for me. And maybe it was because I went into it thinking that I didn't this was just the Road Warriors. I thought you'd put it on as like a Road Warrior showcase against Jimmy Garvin, and then you've got Steve Regal, who I knew was an AWA, was a big guy in AWA, but not much else out with. I did point out that I did make a note about the post-match interview. Nobody could legally beat us. I think this was Hawk saying nobody could legally beat us unless they had a gun. I'm pretty sure that would be illegal, Mr. the Hawk. Yeah, it just didn't click for me at all.
Interesting. Okay. Well, maybe I am off the mark. They did. So Garvin and Regal did tag for a while, but I also I can't give you a hard time about it, because reality is, if you have a team like the Freebirds or even the Ganyas or even seen the Hennigs, it would seem like it would make more sense for one of those teams to beat the Road Warriors, not this team. It seems really weird. So I don't necessarily disagree with you on that.
I also wasn't saying that you were off the mark, Sean, with your score. Me and you were on a different mark, is what I was trying to say. Don't think I got that across properly.
Not the first time, won't be the last time.
No.
All right, Scott, what do you think? I assume you. You might surprise me again. What do you think, Scott?
Shawn, I'm not going to surprise you. I'm Team Callum with this one. I went 1 3/4 stars. I just thought this match was kind of boring till the Freebirds came out. Yeah, I knew Jimmy Jam became a Freebird in WCW, but we don't talk about those Freebirds. Not my Freebirds, Mm-hmm. I was just bored with it, to be completely honest. Like, I was looking at my phone a lot, as Dr. G says when he's looking at a match, and it didn't pick up. And then, obviously we don't have great camera operators, because we completely missed what happened. It was like
they did replay it at the end.
Yeah, they did replay it at the end, so that was good to know. It felt like that Nitro when Sting and Luger lost the tag titles because Harlem Heat, schoolboyed one of the Steiners in this triple threat.
Talk about boredom. Shit.
Yeah.
Harlem Heat.
I know that's your favorite WCW tag team in '96.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was not blown away at all with this, and I thought I was being generous with 1.75 stars.
Man, maybe I was drunk when I watched this match. Dr. G, what do you think?
I went 2 1/4 on it. I didn't enjoy it as much as the other Road Warriors match, but I agree with Scott. I kind of was a little bored in the beginning, and then it did pick up once the Freebirds got involved. And I was confused too because of the bad camera work, or they didn't get the camera shot. Maybe they didn't know what the heck was going to actually happen there. So when I went back and watched it, I do remember seeing in the magazines, that the Road Warriors had lost, and I was like, really, to Jimmy Garvin and Steve Regal? Okay, that's different. But obviously we didn't know all the details then. Obviously they were going to Crockett full time. They had to drop the belts. Why they picked that team, I have no idea. But other than that, I would say, other than the Freebirds getting involved, it was kind of just wasn't as typical of some of the other Road Warrior matches that we watched. But I think 2 2 1/4, because I I did enjoy, with the Freebirds getting involved, and sometimes you don't mind, sometimes you hate too much interference in matches. This one actually kind of needed it, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, again, we go guardrail to guardrail. So I did enjoy it. Listen, I've really enjoyed watching I'm going to be okay. So this might be a shit take. I did not enjoy a lot of the Road Warriors NWA tag team title matches because I think it was a formula, and it was just a lot of them beating people up, and I never really clicked for me. Like, I could think of some matches that I like, but I've watched a lot of Road Warriors matches this summer that I've really enjoyed. And I like seeing them in these different environments with these different teams where the formula is different. So maybe I got caught up a little bit in this one because this is probably the last formula match we might see from them, and we kind of know when they go to Crockett. Although I think we've seen some matches with the Russians where it's been pretty even keel, but for the most part, you know what Road Warriors you're going to get in NWA. Maybe we'll document some that are different, but I just enjoyed this summer run of watching the Road Warriors in a different formula. The formula matches we've watched. Maybe I got caught up in that a little bit. So I do not negate anyone for telling me that my take on this match might have been a shit take. I can fully accept that, and we will move on to our final match. We are back in Japan, and by the way, this is the same Japan time frame where we got the Flair versus Martel match and that tag team title match from when we talked about it in our October 85 pod, but I missed this match. So this is actually, I believe, what they call an exhibition match. So we are back in Japan. It is Ric Flair versus Jumbo Tsuruta. So Flair is out in his black and white ruffle robe. Again, as always, the girls are out in the ring with their flowers for the pageantry. Tsuruta gets a shoulder block. There's a crisscross across the ring. Tsuruta gets a hip toss, a drop kick, and a cross body. There's a Flair arm lock to the mat. Jumbo goes behind for a schoolboy, lifts Flair up by one leg, and lays him in the middle, holding his leg. He turns it into a Boston Crab. There's a rope break. Flair chops a knee drop for two and a headlock takedown. Flair gets another hammerlock takedown, working the arm. Jumbo comes back with chops, and Flair gets a backdrop out of the corner. Then he gets a Flair backdrop out of the corner. Jumbo gets a sleeper. Takes Flair down in a drop toe hold, works the leg. Flair escapes and gets a figure four attempt. Tsuruta destroys Flair with a really nice clothesline for two. There's an abdominal stretch by Tsuruta. Flair escapes and throws Jumbo outside. There's a snap there on the top rope. And then there's a stalling suplex into the ring. We get the figure four. But Jumbo reverses a suplex attempt for two. There's an underhook suplex for two. Flair gets some really good chops in on Jumbo. And then Jumbo gets a chop and one sends Flair over the top rope. We get back in the ring. Jumbo gets a corner throw. Flair goes up and over. Flair up top, but then he's thrown off. We get a nice back suplex to Flair for a figure four, and the bell rings. But Jumbo then gets a sick knee to Flair's face, and it is a draw. So kind of an easy watch for me. And again, I might have gone high on this because I know how most of you guys on this pod feel about Japan matches, but I actually enjoyed this match, and I actually went 3 stars on this one. So I already know I'm going to be off the mark with my next guy, Scott. Go ahead. I know you weren't a fan of this match based on what you said earlier in the chat. Get out of here.
I was bored to tears with this match. Like, I did not enjoy this match at all. The only thing I liked was like when Jumbo picked Flair up by the leg and carried him across the ring so he couldn't get to the ropes. But then it went to Headlock City, and then Jumbo puts a sleeper on, and he was putting me to sleep too. Jumbo didn't sell a neck breaker on the rope. Like, Flair did it, and like he took the bump by himself, and Jumbo's just standing there looking at him. I went 1.25 stars, which I'm probably going to catch a lot of shit for, but I was not feeling this match at all.
Interesting. I am very, very disappointed to hear that, but I am not surprised. Let's see. Dr. G, what'd you think?
Shawn, usually you and I don't disagree very often, but
when we do, it's usually Japan.
Japan.
It's usually Japan.
I don't get it. I don't get the guys that are going against, and Flair usually could work with anyone, but I just think Jumbo's boring. He doesn't do anything for me. So, I went 2 stars on it. It's Flair. So you basically because of Ric Flair, but Jumbo just is boring. I don't know what other thing to say about it, really. It's just, I caught myself looking at the phone, so that's how I knew I wasn't totally into this. I again, I went to 2 stars because Flair does his best, and I agree. Like, I felt like Jumbo wasn't selling at certain points for Flair. I don't know. There just wasn't a chemistry there, which happens occasionally with the best of them. But Flair did the best he could.
I feel there's a lot of Japan bias on this podcast. I'm just saying. I feel that way. Callum, what'd you think?
Listen,
Go ahead, Dr. G.
Japanese wrestling, I mean, is very popular over there. And I know we've had guys like Dr. Death and Stan Hansen, and the Road Warriors are very popular over there, even Hogan. But maybe it's just because I don't watch enough of it. I'm a kind of a storyline guy, so if there's really, obviously the championship sometimes could be enough. And if Jumbo would have given Flair a pretty decent match, like how, Magnum did, I probably would have rated it higher. But there wasn't a chemistry there. That's just the feeling I got. It just felt like they just didn't feel like they were on the same page.
All right, Colin, close out this match in this episode.
From any time we've watched Japan matches, I think I've flip-flopped between enjoying it and not enjoying it. This one was more the latter. I went 2 stars on it. I thought it was all right. I wouldn't say it bored me, but it's certainly not as good as some of the ones that we've seen before, like the because I really enjoyed the Martel match. I enjoyed the Choshu match we watched in the last one. I don't actually have a lot of notes for it. It was a match that I thought was going to. There was different points I thought it was going to kickstart into something better. When every time I thought it was going, something happened and it ended up not happening. And then it just ended. So yeah, I wasn't bored. I wasn't blown away. So I think 2 is probably fair for me. Yeah.
All right. Well, it looks like I'm the lone wolf on this one. Here's the good news: is we don't have any more Japan matches in our foreseeable future, so we will not have to stand for this constant Japan bias we have on this podcast from some of our people on here. So that'll close out this episode. So kind of, a mix of good, a mix of bad, a mix of maybe some disputed, but definitely go out of your way to watch the Flair TA stuff. I would actually go back and watch the Road Warriors match in that as well. But definitely some hidden gems in here, but I think the Portland show is definitely something to go check out. So before we go on our next episode, which is going to round out part 4 of our Unwatched series, which is our last episode, before we get to episode number 25, where we officially relaunched December 85, we have a good mixed bag. We have the return of Wahoo McDaniel. Colin, I know you're very happy about that.
Whoop-de-doo.
You'll actually see not a payoff, but an earlier match that I missed when we first went through when I was going through the timelines of the Road Warriors versus the Freebirds from July of '85, and then we have a 3-match run in Puerto Rico, which is a hell of a run. We get a Magnum TA versus Tully Blanchard match for the U.S. title. We get Flair versus Dusty, but man, I definitely think we're gonna have some things to say about Puerto Rico on our next pod, similar to what we said about Puerto Rico this episode, but definitely some interesting stuff in Puerto Rico on the next episode. So before we go, Scott, anything you would like to plug?
Yeah, I can be found on Twitter at Scott_Shiflett. You can catch me on the PTBN Pop Experience with Shawn, with Battlestar in the 25th Century, Blockbuster Rewind with Eric Eels and Andy Atherton, and here on the Wrestling Feed with PTBN YouTube Roulette with Shawn as well, Logan, and Jake Williams. Thank you guys once again for having me on.
No problem. You'll be on the next episode too. So, Colin, anything you'd like to plug?
By the time that you hear this, I believe the next episode of the Special Relations will be dropping tomorrow. If you are listening to this on the day that it drops, back with regularly scheduled programming after last month's technical and scheduling snafus. Also give us a follow on Twitch and YouTube, both Place to Be Nation, all one word, and follow at PTBN YouTube on Twitter, and please send in any suggestions of things that you want to see on either YouTube short form or anything you want sort of longer form potentially streamed as well. Always open to suggestions on that one. Got a couple of things working on in the background for them, but all suggestions are welcome and will be taken on board.
All right, excellent. And Dr. G, as of the day this episode drops, big weekend for the NWA pay-per-view this weekend. So what do you got to plug?
Well, listen to the NWA Saturday special will drop. It drops every Saturday morning at 9 a.m., but we may have some more in store for the weekend. Will be a Saturday and a Sunday special. So you'll get a little bit of me and the Podfather more than probably you want to now. Now we should. It should be a fun weekend. It's going to be an historic weekend for the NWA.
Yeah, I mean,
really
I know
is.
I know they've announced matches up to this point. So 2 title matches, women's matches. So I'm really happy. For me personally, Deonna Purrazzo is my favorite female wrestler, even over Camille. So I'm not necessarily happy that she's taking on Melina, but that should still be a pretty good match. But yeah, big weekend for the NWA, current modern day. So
this is going to be, to see where they're going to go, heading into the future, because, I heard the last pay-per-view did not do very well. They're doing a better job at promoting than they did last time. So let's hope that, people will partake in these 2 great pay-per-views. It's, I think the bundle goes for either $35-$40 for the weekend. So it's worth it. It's worth it. If you have the extra dough and you want to support a great small organization trying to make its mark, order those pay-per-views for the NWA and Fight TV, because it's just good stuff. And again, listen to the Saturday special every Saturday, dropping at 9 a.m. And I can be reached at Dr. G PTB.
Excellent. So yeah, definitely big weekend for current day NWA. So you can find me on Twitter at NWA Crock Roll, and across numerous pods here on the wrestling feed, over on the pop feed, and also on North South feed. So I am Shawn Kidd for Dr. G, Colin McDougall, and Scott Shiflett. We will see you on episode 24, where we complete our 4-part series of Unwatched and get ready to rev up for December 85 return on episode number 25.
There comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying. Oh, when it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can't go on pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change. We all a part of God's great big family. And the truth, love is all we need. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we make a better day. Just you and me. Well, send them your heart so they know that someone cares, and their lives will be stronger and free, as God has shown us by turning stone to bread. And so we all must lend a helping hand. We are